Please come to a comfortable seat. I believe in the intrinsic goodness in everyone. Even if an individual can't see them for themselves, I do believe that if someone's committed and if someone's willing to, that they can actually turn their lives around. If it feels comfortable to do so, softly close your eyes. My name is Chanda Williams, and I'm a yoga teacher with the Prison Yoga Project. Thank you. Begin by taking a full deep breath in through the nose, and we can open the mouth and sigh the breath out. What prompted me to teach in San Quentin really was my understanding and my awareness of incarceration in the United States and just how much it had impacted my personal family, and then just understanding it from a kind of community and national perspective. I felt compelled and felt like if I had any sort of ability to contribute or to alleviate suffering in any way, then it was incumbent on me to do that. Gently bowing the head, chin to chest. Namaste. I grew up in Flint, Michigan, the youngest of 5. I saw how the crack epidemic really decimated my community. And as a child, being exposed to drive-by shootings and family members who were incarcerated, people who virtually disappeared from my life. It's really challenging to be a human. It's really challenging. And if you had a really rough upbringing, if you experienced early childhood trauma, that can really set someone up to end up incarcerated. James, so good to see you.
You too.
If individuals who are on the outside could just extend compassion and just see the humanity in the individuals here. Good to see you. How you doing? I think it would really kind of change the public discourse and maybe even some of the public policy around incarceration in this country.
Prison Yoga Project is a nonprofit organization that brings yoga and meditation into prisons all over the country, all over the U.S., and actually outside of the country as well. My name is James Fox. I'm the founder of the Prison Yoga Project. Why bring yoga into prisons? Well, behavioral rehabilitation begins with basically increased self-awareness that brings about change. And that's something that yoga, as what you would consider a very old personal development practice, can do.
That's the experience of life. That's the experience of the body. Sometimes it's not perfect. Most times it's not perfect.
We're really taking yoga and applying it as a therapeutic practice for the issues that prisoners are dealing with.
Find your block.
And you could start with the 2 most common issues, which are violence and addiction.
Flexing the foot and folding. One more time. Inhale.
What brought me into prison is first-degree murder on a drive-by shooting. I shot somebody, and I'm here serving that time for it.
One more breath in.
In the past 7 years, yoga has changed me in the way I think and the way I feel and how I can just be present with what's going on in my body. Because sometimes when my emotions run high, it's a reminder to go check in with my body. Those are signals for me that tells me that something's wrong. And if I can check in right then and there, stop and breathe, pause for a minute, those usually are the brief moment where I can reset myself. That's a true blessing that they've given me, and I hope to continue what they give me moving forward in whatever that looks like.
And inhale, sweep the left arm forward and up to the sky for a twist. It's very different than teaching in a yoga studio. We kind of have a bare bones practice. We have mats and we have blocks, and every class is going to be different just because of the nature of the environment. It's kind of noisy, you may have noticed. One more time, inhale deeply, exhale completely. Just really allowing myself to go with the flow more because I cannot control this environment at all. Just really inviting the students to also practice that as well, just being really open and aware and accepting of whatever arises in the moment. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend both knees, plant both hands, and step back to plank. And lower all the way down. think whenever a new student comes into the class, there's a certain amount of hesitation. So even though they might be happy to be here, they feel perhaps a little self-conscious because yoga is pretty vulnerable. You come in and you're stretching and moving your body in a new way. I've watched people over time kind of come in with that initial kind of hesitation and maybe a little anxiety, and actually feeling like you can see the relief on someone's face, and you can see it in their bodies and how they carry themselves. Inhale, slowly rebend the knee. Bring that block underneath your right shoulder. When I teach the classes, I'm in the room without a guard and feel completely safe. When I'm here at San Quentin, I know that I'm supported, and I know that these guys have my back. I know that nothing bad will happen. And so when I'm here, I interact with them. I think we have a great rapport. I have trust with them. I think they trust me because we're practicing yoga together. So it's a really great relationship.
We're going to inhale up. We're going to exhale, flat back forward.
Arthur is now teaching segments of the class, just really seeing his confidence grow and his capacity, as well as his desire for more knowledge, and just how this has really benefited him.
In plank position.
I see that within so many of the students who start the program.
Exhale to chaturanga. Coming from impoverished neighborhood, dealing with the things that goes on in those type of neighborhoods, I've developed a real heightened sense of fight or flight. That's what my body always did. So what yoga helped me to do was dial that back, see what situations was really dangerous and what ones I was making up. And it allowed me to evaluate them and, see that most situations I get into is not dire or is not life-threatening. We're gonna go into reverse warrior. You're gonna stretch your left hand on your back leg and take your right hand over your ear. I don't think no one program is all and ends all. Yoga, it starts you there and it ends there, but it's a lot of work, a lot of trauma that goes on that people need to deal with. Yoga helps you to deal with it. It helps you to see it. Okay, take your hands, place them on the floor, step back to plank.
The demand is tremendous. We can't meet the demand for programs. It used to be that we had to go to prisons and jails and convince them they have a yoga program. That's not the case anymore. We get contacted by prisons and jails asking, could we help them to set up a yoga program?
Inhale.
One of the reasons that the classes in prison are so impactful is because the participants in the program are so dedicated to their practice. And they don't have a lot of the choices, obviously, that we have in society.
On your next inhale, bend your knees, bring your feet onto the mat. Good, lift your heart, soften shoulders, space between the chin and chest. Little core work, boat pose. After every class, regardless of how I felt before, I always feel better. It's a matter of just the magic that happens when you're with a group of people who are committed to their own personal development, their own personal growth. If we incarcerate people and we expect to release them and return them to our societies and to our communities, don't you want them to be successful? Don't you want them to make positive contributions in their communities and our communities and come back really engaged and enlivened and passionate about life and have turned their lives around and really rehabilitated themselves? And bowing forward, we honor this inner radiance within us all. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so very much, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.